Okay, if we were going to LARP an TTRPG, where would we go to do it?
Ooh. Sorry, I totally just had another idea. I don't want to shit on yours.
What place specifically? Is that what you're asking?
I was driving down the road one time and I thought about that. Like, not LARPing, but if I was to cast a D&D show somewhere in the world, like what location would be the best? And I've thought about...
Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
Hi! Welcome to Drinks and Discussions.
Welcome to Chili's.
Welcome to Dirty, the Drinks and Discussions, the RPG podcast. I'm here with a bunch of co-hosts. I myself am Wrath. I'm the voice of Kingsman on the show Strange Town Golden Ridge. I'm also the storyteller for the show called King's Crossing. Joined with me today, do you guys want to introduce yourselves, or you just want me to go around the table?
Either works for me.
Somebody else start, and I'm going to go get a whiskey.
Perfect. I'm going to go around. So I'm joined today by Adis. He's going off to get himself a whiskey. Yes, he will need that. Adis is the voice of Adareg from the show King's Crossing. You'll also know him from other stuff, like he was in the Labyrinthine playthrough, full playthrough of that game. It's up on the YouTube channel. We have Fred. He is both the voice of Detective Verde from Strange Town Golden Ridge, also the voice of Torvekik from King's Crossing. We also have Mr. Pickles. He's the storyteller for Strange Town Golden Ridge and the voice of Grunkle from King's Crossing. So, isn't that cool? We get to be like, you guys are officially like voice actors and shit, like actual actors.
Woo!
That's pretty badass. Yeah, you guys have like an IMDb page and everything over on the wiki.
Hell yeah.
Not really an IMDb. You have a wiki page. It's not filled out yet, but there's a wiki page.
It's almost as good as an IMDb.
Yeah, basically the same thing. So we are here to basically discuss all things TTRPGs. The first question that was brought up today was by Deese. He said, basically, if we were to have a TTRPG kind of LARP session, I don't know why you went straight to LARP, but if we were to have a TTRPG somewhere in the world, where would you want it to be? I was going off that. I agree. I was thinking of the other day, like if I was driving, where would I, if you had to like cast a TTRPG show someplace in the world, where would you do it? And I was thinking about it, like, I think it was Game of Thrones in a lot of places, Lord of the Rings. Didn't they all cast in like an Australia/New Zealand area? I think it was New Zealand.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings was definitely New Zealand.
Yeah, I think a lot of places have done it in New Zealand. I think that's really cool. I think, for me personally, I think a like Norway or Sweden would be a really cool scene. Maybe even like Iceland. I think Iceland would probably be my choice if I had to pick one. But that's because I don't know if Iceland works. I'm not super familiar with the layout and everything, but basically I would love a island archipelago featuring a like frost area and kind of a in the summer dry area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think Greenland, maybe Iceland, kind of that area. Maybe even shrunk down. You could go like a Greenland, Iceland, Sweden, Norway, and kind of do like whatever islands, or I don't know if they have islands in between those, however big or small, but that'd be my like aspect of it. I think that's what I would take. What about you guys?
I think like somewhere Afghanistan-y. Just really dry desert climate be interesting for a an RPG, if that makes sense.
I just real quick, I'm so mad at Adis because you came up with this topic and I came up with another topic at the same time, and that's when I was like, oh, I've got something, but I don't want to share. But now I forgot what my topic was.
The filming. Where would you want to film?
No, that was his idea.
That was?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Just like general like location.
Yeah. I had another one that I was going to do, but I was like, we'll handle yours first and then mine, but now I forgot what mine was. So, Afghan, Iraq, that kind of like Arab area.
Dune,
yeah, basically, yeah.
That,
get that.
That was what I was thinking of, yeah. Just like a
Tatooine
kind of thing.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, yeah, totally polar opposites. What about
it's
you,
not
Chris?
really too different. It just depends on what you want to do with your story. Like, the desert thing is really, really good for cross country trader kind of story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to do a story of traders going braving the wilds to go deliver their goods out to this city or that city.
Huh.
Oh,
That's an idea. That's a great idea. We should do a game like that.
I like that idea.
That's what Adisa's game is.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're
No.
in a
oh okay, cool.
Mine
Great,
is
great
dudes.
minds think alike.
Mine's
Yeah.
got more trees in it.
Yeah, we're not quite in a dune, but we are in a. See, you fucked up. We should have been in a dune.
I chose the swamp.
Swamp.
I'm sitting over here trying to think of my own idea.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember what it was. Pickles, what is your location of choice?
I mean,
I'm gonna guess the Pacific Northwest.
yeah, I've already made my choice technically and followed through on that choice, so
Yeah.
it's hard to argue otherwise. But I don't know. I feel like if I had to pick something else, I might go for something sort of similar to your answer. But Alaska would be a good location where there's some southern cities that aren't as Arctic as the northern areas.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have a bit of a mix of the snow and the surviving there. But I feel like I'd fall into vampires too easily, and
That would be interesting, like a Game of Thrones, but vampires instead of the undead. That'd be terrifying, especially if they're
Ooh.
like actual vampires, not like float and sparkle, but like the ones who can like fucking like warp from location to location and shit, like the strong like what was that, like Originals, the Originals or something? You guys ever see that show?
Mm-mm.
I
No, I
kind of
haven't
watched
seen
it.
that
I've
one.
never been a big vampire guy, but the Originals is like the OG vampires, and they were like
Mhm.
fucking powerful.
Yeah.
I
Shit's
mean,
terrifying.
the World of Darkness is the system you play if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Where you play as vampires in sort of a, they're like the system comes with a lot of flavor, so you can play your vampires in a vampire rich city like New Orleans or New York City, stuff like
Mm.
that. But I feel like Alaska could be a good one to do that in as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I agree. Chat, the question was, if you were to film a TTRPG, what location would you say? So like if we made a TTRPG into a movie, where would you film it? What location would you pick? What
And I
about
want
you,
that
Adis?
gray skies everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see
So
that.
thinking
Besides the
about it,
Northern Lights, you'd have the Northern Lights up there.
yeah, true. Thinking about my what stands out to me, like you'll know this if you watch the series for a while. I'm a big fan of anything that comes like fantasy realm. And when I think fantasy, I think a little bit of like Lord of the Rings action, and then when I'm thinking like fantasy Lord of the Rings action, I'm thinking like big mountains and these big mountainscapes and sort of things. So the Pacific Northwest also kind of follows suit in that for me, especially being from Washington. We got the beautiful Rockies up here. And that, like said, is the backdrop. Well, the not only the Rockies but also the Olympics set as like the backdrop to your everyday view. So that's kind of what I usually go to. But another one that I also kind of think would work in a very interesting sort of like starter zone sort of fantasy. When I think of that, is kind of the Appalachian foothills over in like Virginia, and that where they have not like too tall of mountains, but they do have some like glens where there's like rock faces that go up on either side with like a shallow kind of riverbed in the middle of it. That sort of stuff also kind of brings to mind some of those fantasy like starter zone aspects when I look at those.
I'm sorry, I'm so mad I can't remember what my idea was. I was sitting here like, God damn it, dude. I had a topic that I was like, oh, we need to discuss this. And I
I
completely
remember
lost it.
you're like, oh yeah, and then
And then gone.
just gone.
And then gone. I can't remember. Chat's
That's the way it goes.
mentioning Canada and Georgia, but specifically because it's cheaper to film there. Okay,
Mhm.
I think this was if money didn't matter,
Yeah.
because none of us can really afford to cast a show. But
Yeah.
unless you guys are super rich and I didn't know, and
You know,
I'm so mad.
My coat makes me look rich.
Your coat makes you look rich.
Yeah, it's my $20 hoodie that I got like 10 years ago. It's a joke.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, who's that dude from Longest Yard and shit?
Adam Sandler?
Yeah, you could be Adam Sandler rich.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
True.
I do have fun with my friends.
Let's see.
Huh?
Come on. I'm out, guys. I'm so mad. Like
I don't
now,
even want to talk to these
this
people
whole
anymore.
this whole episode, I'm just gonna be sitting here going, "What the hell was my topic? I had a great topic." And I was like,
So we were
"Oh, we
talking
should talk about
about-
this." Oh, also about that, yeah.
We were talking about so before the show started, we were talking
Yeah.
about King's
No,
Crossing.
it was like right before you said your idea. I thought, oh yeah, that topic I wanted to talk about. What were you talking about right
Mhm.
before? Someone clip whatever the hell we were talking. What were we talking about?
So first we started with the King's Crossing gods talk, and then we started getting into more of what are these things that we were originally talking about, like
Right,
the
right.
topics
After all
of
that,
TTRPG, what does RPG mean in a game, and
yeah, it's after
that we
all
got
that.
into. From there we jumped on to
I think that was all before we
something-
even started.
yeah,
Yeah.
most of this was before we started, and then from there
I
we
don't
jumped.
know. I'm just gonna admit
Yeah.
defeat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little
that.
behind the curtain,
All right.
inside baseball.
Someone else come up with a topic. Man.
So, with that being the case, what are some of the Fred?
Yeah.
What you mentioned Afghanistan, and so you would do more of a trader's sort of arc. What would the kind of overall quest theme be for that? Do you think? Would you have a big bad guy, or would it just be kind of a run as you go and find new spots and new outposts and make friends along the way, kind of a diplomatic sort of thing?
I think the start of it would be you have a group of people that are working as caravan guards, with either one of the players being the caravan master or an NPC. How you want to balance that would be a toss-up. But the beginning would be just establishing themselves in the world, getting to know the world. And then the first big bad would probably be like a bandit boss or something. That one of those guys that constantly show up and harass the caravan, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And maybe there's sand sharks thrown in, stuff like that. That'll break up the monotony of getting attacked by a bandit every 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
What's a
Okay.
sand shark? Just clarification.
It's literally a shark that swims in the sand.
Oh, okay. That's I thought you were. You never know.
No, I'm not trying to. I wasn't trying to be. I wasn't trying to be duh, because there are different things. One of the campaigns I'm in,
It's
there
like
was lava. It
it's
was
like
like
a
lava
bullet.
sharks. Well, the one of the campaigns I'm in had lava sharks, which were just sharks that swam in lava. So I was kind of just going to transfer that sort of idea to the sand. And sand sharks would be one of those things. It's like this certain area that the caravan goes through is a known sand shark nest or something. but you can't go around it because that would take too much time, and you'd run out of water before you got to the next oasis or whatever.
Oh my god, that's so fucking clever. That's actually that makes me that makes my intestines quiver a little bit there. That's some good feel.
And it'd
If
be
only
stuff
there
like
was a game we were doing that had that kind of thing. I sure hope nobody got bad ideas to make Mr. Pickle's tummy hurt.
maybe this is why he's been going down this line of questioning. You know,
So how many sand sharks do you think are in a herd?
well, if it's like it'd be so the idea is if it was a sand shark nest.
A nest. Gross.
Yeah, I mean, it would be one of the reasons this area is known for the sand sharks is because it's a nest. So you have to go through it because of the water problem, but not all of the sand sharks from the nest attack you because not all of them are, it kind of like ants. There's sand shark soldiers warriors that'll go do sand shark warrior things while everybody else stays and keeps the home. You know what I mean?
Wait, do they have like families and social structure?
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
God,
they would be like goblins.
There's
I
a
guess.
monarchy.
Yeah, it's a sand shark monarchy.
Little sand shark daddy
established
and
laws.
mommy.
My thinking is they would have like the same mentality as like goblins, the same
Pack tactics.
kind of like that. I'm the same smarts as goblins, like the same mental faculties as goblins. They're not people smart, but they ain't stupid, you know?
So you could talk to them.
Yeah, so they're
Yes.
not monsters. They actually have a civilization almost.
But hostile monsters. A hostile race of humanoids.
Hostile creatures kind of like goblins are. They would take the place of goblins that you would find on the side of the road somewhere that's attacking caravans, you know?
Except if
'Cause
it's
you're not
more
gonna have-
dangerous.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
little bit more dangerous because they're
Quite a bit
swimming
more.
under the sand.
Yeah. They
Um,
drown you on land. You know how embarrassing that is? You take embarrassment damage.
embarrassment damage.
That's a plus D4 for embarrassment damage.
Then there would be some things like quicksand, but if you're traveling as a caravan, the known areas for quicksand you could avoid. That sort of stuff, you know what I mean? But if you have a deadline that you get a bonus for getting there sooner, you can go through the quicksand if you want to risk it.
Adding
We do have a
new
deadline.
area to King's Crossing.
I'm feverishly taking notes of swamp sharks.
Yeah, swamp sharks. Okay.
That would be a good idea too. Yeah, it's basically crocodiles though. I mean,
But, yeah, that's
Yeah,
crocodiles.
they're crocodiles.
There are crocodiles, and never mind.
Never mind.
but that damn it, now you got me thinking of campaign ideas and now my brain's going wild.
Fred's gonna run a campaign.
Fred's running a campaign.
Let's go.
You heard it here first.
We got him on it. While you think of campaign ideas, I'd just like to toot my own horn. I remembered my idea. I'm so happy. I wrote it down so I don't forget. I was like, I got it. But before we get into my topic, I want to hit whiskey sips with the D's.
All right. I was wondering when we would get to this. Well, gentlemen, ladies, people of the court.
People of the court.
Today on Whiskey Sips, we got Lazy River Bourbon.
Ooh, okay. I like the sound of that
as you can tell, I like it.
one.
So almost gone. It's just a Kentucky straight bourbon. So a lot of corn in it, which gives a lot of nice sweetness to it. Hits a lot of those brown sugary notes. I will say, I may have left this one sitting too low for too long because I am getting some sharp, like almost like cough syrup notes now. So the oxygen has definitely started to interact with it a bit more, and it started to sour the whiskey a little bit. So that means that I got to drink this stuff quick.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh,
darn!
dang it.
That whiskey chugs instead of whiskey sips.
Whiskey chugs.
Whiskey chugs. Glug, glug, glug. um, but yeah, it's a solid bourbon. It's also a pretty budget friendly bourbon as well. I think I got this one for $35 or so. So it's a good one. If you have a chance to pick one up, I recommend trying it.
I'm looking for it right now. I will say, it wasn't the Glendronach, it was the other one I had.
LaFrog.
Yeah, LaFrog, the one that gave me LaFrog throat. Second glass, a little bit better.
A little better.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to my third glass to see if I'm getting into it.
Yeah.
I'm having, which is weird because I'm in Kentucky. It's Kentucky bourbon, right?
Yeah.
Weird that I'm having trouble finding it. It's called Lazy River, right?
Yeah, Lazy River.
Yeah.
Distilled in Kentucky.
Kentuck.
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentuck.
I could talk. I could talk if I was bottled in Fairfield, California.
Yeah, I found one place that has it, but they only have the little like shot bottle.
Oh.
Yeah, weird. I'm in Kentucky, so I'll keep looking afterwards. Thank you, Adis. Are you guys ready for my super awesome topic that as I remembered it, I'm looking at it and I was like, this isn't really even that great of a topic, but
Blow my mind.
yeah. Okay, so if you guys and I know Pickles and I have danced around this topic a little bit in the past. If you guys had to take one TV show and turn it into a TTRPG campaign for you and your friends, one show, which would it be and why? And I'd like to premise this with, there's a couple different ways you could go with this. You could go with something that is really popular that you know, hey, we all like this show, we've seen it, it's great. Or you could go with, I like this show and my friends have never seen it, so when we go through the game, they don't already know what's coming. So like, if I choose Pokemon, okay, but you guys know Pokemon, so if I'm like, a yellow rodent runs up to Pickles, and he's like, I kick it because it's Pikachu. And I'm like, well, you're not supposed to know this Pikachu. And he's like, but I do. And I'm like, yeah, that's
And
that's
I
fair.
fucking hate that.
Right, I know.
I mean, I was alarmed at how accurate you are.
Yeah. So it's like we've
Why do
been
you
friends
hate
for a long
Pikachu?
time.
Little punk.
We'll talk about
Like
Pickles hates Pokemon.
He's a
later.
little punk ass.
No, I like
punk
Pokemon.
ass
I hate
bitch.
Pikachu is a piece. He's a trashomon.
You're
He's not a
offending
real
like
Pokemon.
90% of Pokemon fans out there.
Yeah, well, I don't care.
But if I'm
millions
like, I think Adis will know this one. If I'm like, I'm gonna run you guys through a show called Arcane. Adis, you watched that one, didn't you? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't think either of these two, Fred and Pickles, have seen it, so it might be a fun campaign for them because they wouldn't know exactly what to expect. So there's different ways you could go about it. But if you guys had to choose one TV show to turn into a TTRPG campaign to run your friends through, which would it be and why? And you could even go like, maybe it's, I don't know, I'm going to throw out a random fucking show. How I Met Your Mother. But instead of being the cast, you're like another group.
You're the bar patrons listening to this.
Yeah, you're like another group kind of in that storyline or something,
Well, I know that Pickles is already running a Supernatural campaign.
Supernatural
show-
with
the show
the
Supernatural.
show. Have you ever seen the show Supernatural, Pickles?
My wife loves Supernatural, but I've only seen like maybe 12, 13 episodes.
Once you've seen one season, you've seen every season.
I haven't seen a full season. I just have stopped
feel
and
like-
watched episodes with her.
I watched like 6 seasons or something, and then eventually it was just like, okay, it's just the same thing over and over. I got it.
Yeah, but like I've watched Cheers,
Yeah.
and once you've seen 10 like minutes, it's the same thing.
No, it's the
So,
same
I-
with Ghost Whisperer. Ghost Whisperer is a show that is notorious. Like, I watched, if you've seen one episode, you've seen every fucking episode. They're all literally copy paste. Just a different person is the ghost each time.
I
It's really
think
annoying.
I know what I would do.
Okay. Fred's got one. What is it?
Band of Brothers.
Oh, that's a
That's a
good
good one.
choice.
That's a
Not
good one.
surprised.
Yeah,
But
not
yeah,
surprised.
that
That
makes
would
sense.
definitely be fall under Fred's repertoire. But that would be a good campaign. It's like what, 12 episodes or something?
Yep.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it's got a campaign, it's got a good storyline. It would be easy to play either the cast or
You could just play as people
accompanying.
around them.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that. What about you two? Pickles is still thinking.
I
Struggling.
that's a hard question, and I
Yeah! I got a good
Pickles-
topic!
All of my ideas so far have been anime.
I mean, that's fine. I don't watch any anime, so that would be easy for me to play because I wouldn't know what's going on.
I mean, Band of Brothers would be kind of the same way. It'd be kind of easy, I guess. But then again, if you're playing Band of Brothers, there's so much shit that happens in between.
Yeah, I actually. The Pacific. I just watched The Pacific.
Pacific
recently.
would be another
Another
good
good
one.
one.
Yeah.
Same reason.
Yeah.
Generation Kill.
Generation Kill. That's a TV show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What's that one about?
the Iraq invasion.
Marines and the invasion of Iraq.
I feel like I've watched that.
It's a lot of sitting around in a Humvee, pretty much trekking across Iraq.
Oh, yeah, that's basically how deployments go, yeah. Sounds about right.
Yep.
It's been a
Yep.
lot of sitting around.
So-
Okay.
That would make for an interesting RPG. I drive the truck straight.
Yeah. Wait, that's me in your game.
Yes.
That's Solomon right there.
Wait, hang on. So I mean, the cheating answer for me would be just do a One Piece campaign like from the beginning.
I would love that because I've never once seen One Piece. I think they just added to Netflix or something, right? It was super.
live
I
action
was,
version.
I was getting all these advertisements for it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've never watched
they
it
did
before,
a movie.
but everyone has told me that I would love it because my campaigns are close. Like my nautical
you like the mercenary
revolution.
group, right?
Yeah, they were very. I ran a basically island hopping naval campaign that people were like, you would love One Piece. Like I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
Yeah.
The problem
So,
that I
yeah,
have with anime is, and I know this is going off topic, but there's too much energy. Like I'm not. I'm like, oh, all right, bro, you're
I
just
know
on a ship.
exactly
Calm down.
what you mean.
Does that make any sense? Like,
No,
it makes total
it's
sense.
too much.
I'm not trying to hate on anime people, but it is like sort of an artistic style of having the characters go from very serious. Then my complaint with some animes is just that like they'll be very very serious. This is Full Metal Alchemist, and then all of a sudden for moments they'll just suddenly become poorly animated or like chibi style, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like that's what takes me out of it. And once we get to a scene with a dog or whatever, it's like I feel so off put by everything that I haven't invested properly. And everybody's like, "Aren't you crying?" And I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah, like God, I
Yeah,
think
no,
it
I'm
was.
sorry. I just threw.
I've tried like
I
One
threw an
Piece, My
axe
Hero
at you.
Academia. I've tried, and it's just it gets too.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're just walking down the street. Like, why are you fucking freaking the
Calm
fuck
down.
out? Yeah, it's too
Yeah.
much. Anyways, TV shows that you would cast. So you went with One Piece, which I think is a good answer, but I also think One Piece has like 1 million episodes.
1,000 and I
Holy
think we're at like 57
It's
or something like
insane.
that.
I mean, it would be. I mean, that's a campaign for sure.
It's a full campaign.
Yeah,
And it's still
Uh,
going, releasing every Saturday.
it's insane. And then Band of Brothers, another great answer. That leaves you, Pickles.
Well, I've been trying to narrow down from 5 different options.
Okay, you get one.
And that's hard because okay, so I feel one I can cross off is X-Men Evolution. It'd be fun. That'd be. I mean, we've both seen that.
See,
it'd be
that was on
entertaining.
my list.
Yeah.
X-Men Evolution was 100% in my top 3.
Mhm.
every time I finish watching the Evil Bong series, I always want to run a very unironic and uninformed, like one-shot adventure of you guys are doing an Evil Bong, but you haven't seen the movies.
I haven't, and I think that would be fantastic.
I don't
It
think I would enjoy it.
what is actually a great thing about that is since Evil Bong is the first one isn't actually a real movie, it's just an advertisement for a bunch of other movies. That means I have so many franchises to draw on that would make no sense. It would be the most absolute apeshit thing I've ever done. That's why I'm probably crossing off my list and why I have never done that. But, like with anime, I think of Studio Ghibli, like Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. Those are good animes that don't have those like weird the chibi moments.
Chibi-mation, yeah.
Those are just beautiful movies, and each one of them I would love to run a campaign in. Like Howl's Moving Castle comes to mind with this group. Is the story is essentially this the seamstress or hat maker lady who runs afoul with an evil witch and also a good wizard, and so it's essentially this small scale wizards interacting with an innocent person conflict in the greater setting of like a World War II-esque battle going on in the background between cities. So that there's like a train running through the town, and as you go through the movie, things change over time. And as she interacts with this wizard and his moving castle, she has the ability to influence the plot a little bit more on a like geopolitical level, meeting with royals on behalf of a powerful wizard, that kind of thing.
What's
So
that?
it's stuff like that that I'm like, that's where anime would be good. Sorry, go ahead.
What's that weird World War One anime where they're flying around on rifles or whatever? Tanya the Evil or something?
Oh, that one. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, that's an interesting one, certainly. Yeah, Tanya the Evil. Yeah, they kind of like
Rifles.
mix like World War II, World War One with a. It's an isekai, so one of those ones where like the
Oh, of
person is
course.
transported to a different world,
Yeah.
and he's put into the body of like this like 3 foot tall, uh, like small like small chick, and
Yeah.
goes
Hot.
and goes on this
Yeah.
like tyrant's reign over like he becomes essentially like the my World War II Nazi Germany facts are fleeting my mind right now.
Probably.
He becomes like essentially a Goebbels. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Or,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, that's a wicked. It's
that
maybe
is
if
a
I could
very
steer
it's a
this
very
into
twisted.
lighter. My final answer, disregarding everything, no more segues. A show that I don't think many people have seen called Ugly Americans.
Animated?
It's animated.
I
Yeah.
think
I'd
I've
probably
heard
share
of
it
it, but
with you a
I
few
don't think I've
times.
ever watched it.
Mhm.
I
I might have
think
made you watch an episode, and you're like, weird.
maybe, yeah,
Mhm.
because I feel like I may have seen. Pickles probably made me watch an episode at one point.
So
That
the
sounds
premise
right.
is it's like in New York City in like near future a little bit, and something's happened that has made it so monsters and creatures are just on our planet, and they're not all like monstrous. They're just like werewolves and vampires and zombies, and
That's one I
um,
would play in.
so the main character is like a person that interacts with people who are running afoul with the law. And it's like, so you're a werewolf. How can we help you with your problem here? As like a government sanctioned person doing this.
It was almost like
Um,
the show. Was it Grimm?
Yes,
Yeah.
except he's dating Succubus,
Good for him.
who's his boss,
Good for him.
and his roommate's a zombie. But that's the kind of wacky thing that would be fun to do after we're done with the
you did make me watch that. Yes, I do remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I really love the setting of it. That's why I'd want to.
I could see that though. Like
game.
right here,
Yeah.
you have like a human who can see this shit and has to deal with it. A succubus and a zombie, and it's like you're in the game. What do you do?
One
I
of the
can
things
see
is
that.
like you could play a zombie very easily because they make it in the like they. It's a plot element in a couple episodes where the zombie roommate needs to get a new arm, and he gets a really buff arm for once because he can afford it, and he's able to like lift heavy things.
Nice.
Like the ability to have your character be replaceable even if he's rotting over time, and also change out your stats if you need to and can afford to.
Okay.
And if the market of raw flesh is,
I'd say that's that's 3 really solid picks. My top 3 were Pokemon. I think would be an interesting campaign to go through. I've dabbled with it a couple times. X-Men Evolution, the supers aspect, big one. I was surprised no one said like a Game of Thrones, but I feel like that's too easy of an answer.
Yeah.
My last one was Firefly. And
Firefly would be interesting.
Firefly is one that I feel is up there, and I feel it's one that Pickles has dabbled with his Traveler system.
Traveler and I broke up though.
Right. Those are my top 3. As far as which one I would pick as my top 1, it would probably come down to the one that I was most connected to, which would be X-Men Evolution. Sorry, Pickles.
I didn't take it.
I know. Pickles was like, not that one. It's terrible. I'm like, that one.
That one.
That's not what I want to do with supers, but it would be a fun thing to do.
I like the idea of and I'm actually, don't quote me on this, but post King's Crossing's campaign, maybe like later in the, because I'm still using, I think it's called the Immortal Realms is my like world setting for this. Later on, so after King's Crossing is done, like, you know, years pass, and then we have another campaign. I was thinking it might be like Adventurers School. And it's one that I've kind of dabbled with before. I think Pickles tried it out with a character Lily.
Yeah, Water Genasi.
Yeah, and it would be a Heroes School where it would basically be a similar concept to X-Men Evolution, where you're heroes but in school.
My Hero Academia.
Basically.
Yeah.
I was also gonna say you guys have talked a lot about this Studio Ghibli, which again I don't know anime, I don't know shit about it, but everyone talks highly of it. Studio Ghibli is top tier quality. I just wanted to real quick shout out in Daisy's notes. She watched through King's Crossing episode 1 and she wrote up a bunch of notes. In the Under the Table, I believe, I think it was Pickles who related King's Crossing a lot to Studio Ghibli. And was like, I'm getting these vibes, it's wonderful, da-da-da-da-da. Just like to say, that's such a compliment if people think that highly of Studio Ghibli, and you're like, this is on that level. I'm like, I disagree, but apparently you said it, so thank you.
I can probably clarify what it like specifically I meant.
Pickles is like, no, that's not what I meant. Hang on.
Well, no. It, like, first off, the baseline is Studio Ghibli movies are magical.
Let me have this.
But something that you did, I found that reminded me a lot of Studio Ghibli movies is in the movies they make a very like detailed viewing of food and food preparations in a lot of the movies in a way that makes you actually be like, oh god, I want ramen so bad, I'm gonna kill somebody.
I want an egg on a toast.
Yeah, like oh yeah, and in Howl's Moving Castle, the breakfast with the bacon and little fire spirit making everything. It's just it all looks so delicious, and I got a lot of those vibes when you were describing scenes of the town and trying to bring warmth to the.
I was gonna
the
say
town
that sounds like my scene of Hobbs Lodge, like walking in the heat of the fire, washing away the cold, and yeah,
a lot of details on the food, even though anime is expensive and so it takes a lot of money. That's why it was like we don't have a lot of time, but there was a lot of detailed. It worked for me in that sense. It made me think Studio Ghibli. Spirited Away.
There you go. That was my topic. Thank you guys for answering. And that's gonna bring us to the top of the hour. Anyone got anything else they want to throw on top?
Well, I kind of mentioned One Piece, but other 2 that I would probably throw in there if we're doing a top 3 list.
Why not?
Would probably be like either Cowboy Bebop or Trigun.
Don't know that one either.
Yeah, so Trigun's more of like a western, like a new western, like cyber age western sort of thing, set on like a kind of a dune, like desert planet Earth. But then Cowboy Bebop is like space shipping lanes, sort of thing. So,
I watched Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, and I watched that, I believe, with Gumby or someone made me watch that.
Yeah,
I
that
can't remember.
sounds about right.
And yeah, Gumby made me watch it because he was like, it's anime, but don't worry, there's a chick with big boobs, and I was like, okay, apparently
Oh!
that's the selling point. She's like 12. I don't know why I'm watching.
Yeah, I stumbled in on that, and it was
Yeah.
the weirdest moment because I
He's
come
like,
in.
this chick's like really hot and has giant tits, and she's like 12 years old or something. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable.
I'm in danger.
Yeah.
I'm in danger.
But here's the
I'm
thing:
on
it
a
led to
list
the
now.
weirdest encounter. It led to the weird. I pop in, I join the like. Oh, what are you guys watching? It's a scene of a girl like flopping her bikini boobs on top of a guy's head in a mech suit or something. Like they're in some sort of rig.
Sounds
And he's
right.
like, "Oh, don't do that." I'm like, "What?
What?
What are you guys watching?"
Yeah.
I
like
don't
my
know,
one
man.
It's like, and you're saying that, and he's trying to explain
The
it.
one
like,
thing I did like about it is it was a cool concept on the mech suits and like robots and stuff, and I thought that was a cool idea to throw into a TTRPG where you would have like Transformers type deal where maybe you don't pilot them, or maybe it's a mix. Some you pilot, some are autonomous, and like, you know, you're walking around. I've always fascinated over the idea of like large scale, the size scale in things. So like I'm walking around and all of a sudden a robot walks over the top of me that's like a skyscraper tall, you know, and it's like, oh shit, you know.
You should watch Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I don't even know how to spell that. Neon
Genesis Evangelion. I mean, it's
my
it's
Lord
Gurren
Almighty.
Lagann, but
Right?
a lot more serious. Gurren Lagann, a lot more serious with a, and you get to experience a writer's psychological breakdown in it.
That sounds terrible. That's like Rick and Morty.
That's like a lot of fun, you know.
Right.
Just a real quality time.
I don't know. Do you have a top
What
three,
could
Fred,
possibly
or
go-
you're hard set on Band of
Say
Brothers?
what now?
You got a top three, or is Band of Brothers the only one?
Let's go Band of Brothers. The Pacific would probably be a good one.
Mhm.
And
Pacific is
then
good because it's like island hopping as well.
Yeah.
And
You'd have plenty of opportunity for downtime.
yeah, and then Band of Brothers is more like in the thick of it.
Mhm.
You'd be hanging out at camps, like, you know, moving your camp along, whereas Pacific is like, you get to this island, clear it, get to this island, clear it.
Go
Naruto.
back to that island, clear it again.
Right, yeah.
Naruto.
Another one I don't
Hell
know.
yeah.
Anime gang rise
I
up.
was gonna say, like, most of these are animes.
I'm
I'm out of my
well,
depth.
the reason I
I threw
said
in
anime,
Pokemon.
The,
is your
the
one?
reason I said an anime is because animes give you a lot of flexibility.
Is X-Men Evolution an anime or just a cartoon?
I have deliberated. I've asked
Mhm.
a lot of people this question.
We've had, I think
because
we've had this.
I
talk
got in
before,
an
Chris.
argument, and so far it's like 95% of people are like, yeah, it's basically anime.
People say Pokemon is anime, but they're like, but it's Americanized
Pokemon's-
anime.
Yeah, nope, still anime.
Yeah,
Still
they
anime.
say it's still anime, but they're like, but it's like American anime.
Okay,
Avatar: The
okay,
Last
okay.
Airbender.
So what's the difference between like cartoon and anime?
No.
One
It's
is
like
there is
SpongeBob anime?
No.
Yeah.
What's the
No,
difference
it's not
between
anime.
SpongeBob and Pokemon?
12-year-olds with big boobs. That's what.
No.
Sandy
It's
cheeks.
no. Okay, weird, but no. The big thing is the art style,
Puff.
specifically of making faces and like body structure and everything. It's a specific art style.
I was right.
And that's well, yes, and it's often associated with that. But one of my questions when I like ask people about what is real anime and whatnot is the Boondocks anime? It fits the anime style. It's based on an American like comic. It's American made. I'm 40% sure. Is it anime? And it's because the art style of like the designing the eyes especially, and usually making proportions of the face different size like that.
Chat says main character. They're all saying main character. I don't know what that means. Like anime has a main character and cartoons don't.
But the Boondocks doesn't have a main character.
So what about like
there's
Ed,
Riley
Eddie?
Powerpuff Girls is not anime.
Yeah, same. Dexter's
Um,
Laboratory has a main character.
I mean,
That would be a
there are
cartoon, right?
similarities among like anime, but it's specifically like the style of art, right? Like
They're saying
based on
Boondocks
the manga
animation was pretty.
style
I
of.
don't know Boondocks, but Boondocks animation was pretty anime. Yeah, animation was pretty anime, but the story, no.
Yeah, the story is not anime, but the style is. And the style, from my gatherings of like 7.5
Well,
people, go for it.
hold on there. No,
Oh,
I severely disagree with those that say like that. Oh, because it has a certain storyline, it's not anime.
the main character
Because
thing was in regards to something else in chat. Sorry, it had nothing to do
yeah,
with our
okay.
conversation.
Yeah, but I would say that yeah, that's a strong point for me. Is like you can have animes that have completely different storylines. Doesn't matter if uh, I I'm one of those people that does think that like in some capacity, Western cartoons are there's some of them that would be like animes. Um,
That's why I'm confused. So, like, just
yeah.
as much as we're like, what games fall under RPG, really, which we still
Mhm.
need to discuss. What's the difference between a cartoon and anime? Because to me, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like SpongeBob versus Dragon Ball Z, right? Dragon Ball Z is an
Mhm.
anime.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So why isn't
I
SpongeBob an
think
anime?
I think most of
Anime
like
is
the
animated? Because
the
SpongeBob is
Puritan
animated.
well the Puritan would
Specific
say
style.
that like it's based on a manga. Like an anime is based on a manga.
Okay.
So,
That's like the
but
comic
then
book
the
form.
argument comes in of like, well, what about comic books? Where like
Yeah, because
they're
then
kind of
X-Men
this,
Evolution would be an anime.
yeah.
If it's a lot of the style, I consider it an anime.
hmm
Hmm. Let's see if chat has anything else before we wrap up.
I see the doctor is waiting.
Doctor is waiting for you.
Yeah, I'm not closing up the cameras while we're on stream, so hang on.
Yeah.
Normally
Yeah.
anime is just a term short for animation since we separate West and East. East is anime, West is cartoon.
hmm I agree.
Oh.
But
So
the
if it's
Boondocks
made
is
in the
anime.
West, it's called cartoon. If it's made in the East, it's called anime. But they're basically the same thing.
Pretty much.
Okay, well, can I throw a monkey wrench on everything before we jump off?
Okay.
hmm
Code Lyoko is anime and was made in France. What are you gonna do?
Well, it's technically east of us, so
Anything east of us. I think France is still considered the Western world, though.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
it's east of the U.S. That's all that matters.
Drinks and discussions.
And that's what you get. So, anyways, that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching. Huge shout out to the cast and crew here. Don't forget to go check out And I Took That Personally, a podcast over on Spotify and Apple Music, hosted by my good friend Mr. Pickles and our other friend Brad, otherwise known as Chison. You guys just released some stuff today?
Yeah, okay, I'll say this really quick. Every Sunday for the next 12 Sundays, actually, I'm going to be releasing an episode of the original Mr. Pickle show, my attempt at making a podcast without Brad about the Evil Bong franchise. One movie, one episode every Sunday, 4:20 p.m. When we're telling stories anyways, and it's going to be about 15 to 25 minutes long. So it's very digestible and it's stupid and wacky.
This whole series is there just to make you really appreciate Chison coming along and helping.
Exactly. I become unhinged by the end of it, and I start arguing with myself. It's honestly the dumbest, most
if you've ever
hilarious
seen
thing I've ever
Pickles
done.
play Plate Up, basically
Watch it
that.
get personal.
That's it from us. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the live stream, stick around. We're going to be moving into Under the Table. If you're watching this over on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed this content. Feel free to comment. Tell us your thoughts on the conversation and let us know what you think. And subscribe to see more. That's it from us. Have a good one.
Cheers.
I love you.